Russia benefits from an array of allies and partners, especially at these pressing times. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has triggered strong condemnation from many world governments and reignited talk of a new Cold War or even a Third World War. But Russia is not as isolated as the global outcry suggests. Although some of these allies haven't openly supported Russia, there are clear indications that the Russian Federation isn't alone in this alleged war against Ukraine. Germany's relationship with Russia is a complicated one. Germany has a long history of working with the Russians, dating back to the time of Willy Brandt, who engineered a rapprochement with Moscow during the Cold War. Its Chancellor Gerhard Schroeder has been close to Putin and has been on the payroll of Russian energy companies. But this unique relationship between Russia and Germany is now coming under pressure. Germany and Russia have complementary interests. Germany needs to sell Western technology to Russia, and Russia needs to buy Western know-how. They are also important customers for each other. The Kremlin has interests in Eastern Europe, but the West cannot rely on them. Armenia is a longtime ally of Russia. However, there has been a deterioration in relations in recent years. In particular, Russia has exerted pressure on Armenia to withdraw from the Eastern Partnership, a deal with former Soviet states that offers enhanced access to EU resources and markets. In addition, relations between Russia and Armenia have become strained since the election of Nikol Pashinyan as Prime Minister. Pashinyan was elected following color revolution-style protests against the government of Sargsyan. Following his ouster, Russia and Armenia have attempted to mend fences and reassure each other. A new peace deal between Armenia and Azerbaijan is likely to bring greater economic prosperity to both nations. India. Russia's economic relationship with India is centered around defense and energy. India has bought Russian state-of-the-art weapons and is dependent on the Russian state-owned enterprise to build India's largest nuclear power plant. India and Russia have similar views in the global arena and cooperate in various forums. They work closely together in the UN Security Council and BRICS groupings. They are also active in the SCO, G20, and other Asia-Pacific structures. Both countries also cooperate on cybersecurity and preventing the weaponization of outer space. However, the US and other Western powers are unhappy with India's relationship with Russia and are trying to disrupt it. Washington sees the subjugation of Russia as key to strengthening its hand against China, which it views as its #1 strategic rival. With rising tensions with China and Russia, India's geopolitical balancing act has become untenable. Cuba. While Cuba's political system may not be as dependent on Russia as it was when the Soviet Union was still in place, the country still remains its main ally among the major powers. Russia's decision to support Cuba comes at a time when the United States is once again seeking regime change in Cuba. While the decision to support Russia is not surprising, it is also important to consider the costs of the move, as well as the motives of the Cuban regime. Cuba's regime must decide how far it is willing to go in support of Putin's policy. As the embrace between Moscow and the US tightens, Cuba's chances of establishing relations with Washington will diminish. In addition, the US is pushing for sanctions against Russia, which could impede Moscow's ability to gain access to Western funding. Belarus. Although many Belarusians support the Russian invasion of Ukraine, there is some controversy over the extent of Belarusian support for the conflict. Depending on which survey you look at, support for the invasion varies. Some Belarusians, however, believe that Belarus should not send troops to the conflict. Belarus's authoritarian president, Alexander Lukashenko, has steered the country toward Russia and to its war in Ukraine. Although he has avoided directly entering the conflict, he has been escalating his rhetoric along Ukraine's southern border. The authoritarian president also sent a congratulatory message to Ukraine for its 31st Independence Day. China. On February 4, 2019, Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin met in Beijing. They released a joint statement that highlighted their shared commitments to democracy, a universalist world order, and common values. In their joint statement, the two leaders also stressed the importance of maintaining international law and inclusiveness. The China-Russia relationship has been closely watched by international relations scholars. However, this relationship has faced significant challenges. For one, China's international relations doctrine emphasizes territorial sovereignty, and Russia violated this principle with its aggression against Ukraine. On the other hand, the two countries have strong interests in forming alliances on a variety of issues, including human rights sanctions and technical standards. But despite these clear interests, the two nations are unlikely to be credible partners in COVID-19, which would require the cooperation of the United States. Syria. Syria's alliance with Russia has resulted in the use of armed militias that are trained by Russian military advisors. These units act under the command of the 5th Corps. They are also affiliated with the Republican Guard, which was established in 1976 under the father of Bashar Assad. This military alliance also includes a small group of Shiite militias. However, the alliance between Russia and Syria is not without its problems. Russian media has recently published several articles criticizing Assad's regime. This was seen by many observers as an effort by the Kremlin to undermine the Assad regime. Yet, the Assad regime has continued to maintain its conservative posture. Venezuela. The Russia-Venezuela alliance is still in its early stages. Moscow has not yet clarified if it is adding any value to the relationship, but it has made itself known by supplying Venezuela with military equipment. While the Russian presence in Venezuela is primarily focused on anti-aircraft defense systems, it has also been involved in training and education. This partnership could be beneficial for Russia for several reasons. First, it allows Russia to gain diplomatic broker status beyond Syria. It also maintains its foothold in Latin America and serves as Maduro's international protector. And last but not least, it helps Russia reshape negotiations if Maduro steps down. Venezuela's oil sector is deteriorating, and the country needs $12 billion worth of investment to replace its current production. However, relief from sanctions could allow marginal improvements in production. Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan's alliance with Russia has sparked controversy. While the two countries are allies, the relationship has become strained. While Azerbaijan has a strong military alliance with Turkey, its relationship with the Russian Federation has come under fire. The alliance was crucial to the outcome of the 6-week war. Despite the recent tensions, Azerbaijan has continued to strengthen its ties with its partners. Most recently, it has re-established diplomatic relations with the European Union. It expects to sign a new framework agreement with the EU in the near future. The Moscow Declaration, meanwhile, is seen by Azerbaijan as a delicate balancing act between keeping friendly relations with Russia and avoiding confrontation.